Hey you guys, welcome back to Whitetail Affinity. I'm going out hunting today. It's October 23rd. It's been 2 weeks since I went out last. October 9th was the last time I was out in the woods. I shot that buck out there on some state land, and I'm headed out. So we got a little cold front that's come in this week. It should be pre-rut, and I'm heading to a spot that's pretty close to my house. I've hunted this spot once and I've scouted it twice. I still don't know it that well. I'm still trying to figure it out. But the wind's perfect, so we're gonna get in there and see what we can see tonight. I did bring a knife, and I also have a cart this time, as you can see back there. And my knife is right here. So none of that crap like last time, if I do shoot one. So yeah, looking forward to getting out, and we'll see you guys when we get to the spot. Well, that's exactly what we want them to do. I just blew that shot. All right, guys, I'm on my walk out here, and I got two options to get to the spot where I want to go. I want to kind of explain why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I could cut through right over on the other side of those small trees over there. See if I can get this better. That strip of small trees right there. Right on the other side of that is a lane. It's probably only, I don't know, 20, 30 yards wide. But it's like a highway over there where the deer go through. And so if I could cut through them woods and hit that lane and go straight that way to the tree that I'm trying to get to. The only problem with that is I'm going to be leaving my scent trail. If I leave anything, it's going to be left on that lane. And what I think they're doing is bedding down over here and all this thick stuff and then working that way to the crop fields. Now the crop fields, I was on my way here, I was kind of bummed. They're already picked. It was looked like a bean field, but it's pretty much bare dirt. So they may still go out there and hit it, but now I'm also kind of torn because of all these other oak trees on this side. But I still think that's where they're bedding. So that's just still where I want to go, and that's where all the rut sign was that I found 2 years ago when I scouted this out in the spring. So the other option is I can stay on this in this other opening here that I'm in, and I keep going down and I wrap around. And I think that's what I'm going to do, because this way through here and hitting that lane and going up would be better for the wind if they are bedding in that, because the wind's coming like this right now. It's like a northwest wind. It's going that way. So the wind would be better for that access. But I'm willing to take the chance that if I walk out this way, my wind, even if they do smell me, it's only going to be for, a minute or two. And then they'll have a couple hours to relax, calm down, whatever, and not even worry about it. The other thing is, if they do smell me and they don't want to come this way, that helps my odds of them going back to where I think they're going to be heading that way. So long story short, the wind's going this way. I don't want to go that way and go up that lane, even though the wind's better to not blow into that thick stuff, because I don't want a scent trail. If they come out and hit that scent trail, it's very possible that they don't come towards me once I get back there. So I'm going to chance it, go this way, let the wind blow in at them, get around them, go the extra 100 yards or so, circle around, get to the tree that I'm trying to get to, and bet my odds on that. So I still have another probably half-mile walk, but I'm getting there, going nice and slow. It's only like 2:30, so I'm kind of scouting my way in as I go. Like I said, I haven't been out here for 2 years, so I'm kind of just taking it slow, trying not to work up a sweat, and seeing if I see any other fresh, hot sign, because that sign that I'm going off of was 2 years ago. So anything could change. A lot of things could change. So anyway, I'm going to make my way back here. See you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, I'm getting back here towards, not far from where I want to be. I'm probably only 100 yards from it. as the crow flies. But this wind is killing me. I'll get back here and it starts. It was northwest and now it's like southeast. Southeast, which is not ideal at all for that spot. I stood here for a couple minutes just throwing milkweed. See, like that's straight south. Wind's coming out of the south. Oh, see, look at, now it's going back west. Or I'm sorry, going back east, coming out of the west. So it's like, makes it tough to decide what to do because I don't want to. See, now it's back coming from the south, kind of switching southwest. All the forecasts are saying like a west-northwest wind. So, but you just never know until you're on site, on location, you know, and that's why checking, making sure things are good when you get there is always important. I just kind of fell. I can feel it hitting me in the back of the head now. It's just kind of doing weird stuff. See? I think I'm going to go for it. It's not ideal. I don't want to, but I also haven't been back here, so I don't even know if there's any sign back here. Now I do see right here. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but there's like 2 or 3 trees right in there that are pretty shredded. Good rubs on them, fresh rubs. There's also a little tree stand up in that popple tree right there. It's kind of funny. The stand looks like it's been there for a little bit. It's funny. It's 15 yards from that stand. Anyway, it's starting to get rained on now. It's actually coming down pretty good. It's just doing funky stuff. I don't know. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna get back there, see what it's like on that side, because that's more towards the field. It could just be coming down this between these trees like a tunnel, like a river bottom. It does that a lot in the river bottoms. No matter what the wind is, it just seems to hit that river and it follows that river. So I'm gonna get back there, see what's going on back by that field, and hopefully not get too soaking wet. But we're in it now. I got some noise cover. That's always good. So I'm gonna sneak back there, hopefully get set up. I'll see you guys in a bit. I'm still making my way back. But check this out. It's got to be a pretty decent deer to snap that sapling like that. And it's really, really odd. I've never seen a scrape just in the middle of nowhere. It's almost like he made his own licking branch by snapping the tree and then making a scrape. So that's kind of cool. It's a big track. You can see it there. But that's what it's been like in the last few times I scouted this. This trail right here is pretty heavily used. But it looks like he's probably coming out of here, I think. And following this trail right here, going out to the field. There's a couple more rubs right in here. See him up in there? So there's definitely some deer in here. There's a scrape right here. But with this south wind, well, I don't know, it's kind of coming, kind of feels like it's out of the west again right now, but the south wind would be blowing right in there. I can see more rubs all up in these saplings, right over in here. So I think he's working this edge. There's some fresh crap there. So this deer, or several deer, definitely working this edge, heading this way. He broke that. He broke a tree off over here. It's probably an inch in diameter. Snapped it right. Snapped it. He snapped it. It's hard to see there, but it's broke. Another one there that he did. So that's kind of exciting. Again, the problem is I gotta get on this side of everything and hope that he comes out before dark. And this is not the area that I was planning on hunting, but it is the freshest sign. I'm sure if I poked around in here I'd find more scrapes and stuff, but I really don't want to. From when I scouted this, they were bedded back in there. About 80 to 100 yards. It wasn't crazy far, but it wasn't crazy close, but it was far enough, or close enough, that I don't really want to poke around too much on the edge. Yeah, there's another scrape right here. He's got rubs all over in here. I can get up in pretty much any of these trees right here. I can get up in most of these trees. It's still early too. I could come back. If I hug this south side, then I should be alright. If I get over to the spot that I wanted to go to, I don't see any fresh sign. I might just loop back, come back to this spot. Sometimes you gotta adjust. I don't want to hunt in a bad wind, because if I do see something that makes me want to come back, I want to be able to come back. I'll check this out. He's got a rub there. He's got one couple right there. He snapped these branches right off, right here. That's exciting. Alright, I'm gonna quit talking. I'm gonna get to looking. See what I see. Make a plan. Come up with a decision. I'm sure you guys have heard enough from me anyway. I'll see you in a bit. This one's so fresh I can smell it. There's so much sign here I don't even know where to hunt. I guess that's not a bad problem to have, but I'm almost to the tree where I wanted to go. See what it looks like. Alright guys, I'm all set up. It's about 4:30. It's raining on and off. I don't know how I feel about this that sign was over there on that edge. I'm going to guess that a lot of that's made at night or in the early morning going back to bedding. I just don't feel like any decent buck is going to come out on that edge, that close to the wide open like that. I made my way down the edge of this field to the tree that I wanted to go to, and I just didn't feel right about it. It's right there. It's probably only. It's that big popple tree right over there with the split in it. And that's only about 75 yards away. But I went over there by that tree and I kind of looked around and it just didn't feel right. I don't know. There was a scrape over there, a pretty fresh scrape. Some tracks and trails and stuff, but I was skylit. The more I looked at that tree, it was just not going to be a good tree. So I came back about midway across the woods and came straight into this spot where I scouted in the spring a couple years ago. And there was a couple of good rubs on the way in. Pretty decent sized 4 or 5 inch tree rubbed on. And it's the trails, well, the one trail that I'm hunting, it's not a very heavily used trail, but it's used. It's very faint. So there's not tons of sign right here like there was 2 springs ago. But I'm right in the heart of everything, and the wind it was doing that funky south wind. It was going like this, straight into where they're bedding. And then it's finally kind of switched west like it was supposed to be, and it's holding steady at that. So if anything comes in on my right side, there's a chance it could pick me. We'll see, but I'm expecting most of the deer movement to be on my left side. I'm in this little popple tree. It's not the best tree. It's not the best tree. There's no limbs, there's no cover, but I have a couple trees behind me that are kind of to break up my silhouette. I've got this big green bush looking tree here right in front of me. So I can kind of shift myself over if something comes to my left and hide myself behind this tree. The main trails that are up here that I see once I got up here is this one right here. That trail right there. And it comes right down. It's only about 15 yards, maybe not even that, 12 yards. But you can see it kind of winds in and goes over here. And there's a couple more that come into it from the woods there. And then on my right side, there's a trail going in right there. So anything that comes out over in here, it's real thick over here. And I don't know if I'm going to have very many shot opportunities over there anyway. They'd have to be like right here, right on top of me. Over here, I got a lot more. So if anything comes in anywhere in here, out and over in here, or even back up over in those woods over there, there's little pockets I could shoot through. The bedding that I found is all straight in front of me. And like I said, from that field edge, it was about 100 yards in or so. And from here, it's probably 70 yards. So I'm pretty close to where they were bedding. The beans are picked. The wind's like this. So this whole edge of this field was tore up. There was so much sign. But again, I think a lot of that's made right at dark, after dark, or before daylight. Based on the sign that I saw in here a couple years ago. I think this is like a staging area where they'll come closer to the field before dark, but they kind of linger in here. So we'll see what happens. I'm not fully confident in it, but this looks like a pretty good used trail, and there is some sign by it, so you never know. There's a couple ladder stands I found over on the private to my south. I didn't see much sign for people in here. I didn't see any tacks or tracks, or there's that one tree stand, but I don't think there's been a lot of pressure back in here. So I'm hoping I can catch one off guard tonight. So, yeah, I'm all set up. So I'm going to get quiet. It's sprinkling off and on. So I'm going to have to get quiet so I can hear them coming. The leaves aren't crunchy, so they could be right on top of me before I know it. One last thing I wanted to say, too. If you watch my videos a lot, I know I talk a lot. And I'm not trying to talk a lot just for the sake of talking, but I'm trying to explain everything that I can so that any of you new hunters or inexperienced hunters that are struggling, that's why I go through everything that I'm doing and why I'm doing it and what's happening around me, so that you can kind of get a picture and you can apply that when you go out in the woods. I've caught a lot of flack for talking too much, I guess, but I don't like when I watch a video or something and the guy's just like, oh yeah, I went 2 miles in, picked this tree, his bed's right over there. Not a lot of people can do 2 miles in and all that stuff, and I like to over explain things just so I make all my points very clear. So anyway, I'm rambling on about that now, so I'm gonna shut up, get quiet, and hopefully we'll see something tonight. It's a beautiful night. So see you guys in a little bit. Well, guys, there you have it. That's the last 2 deer that I saw for the night. What a great night out hunting, man. It was cold. It was windy. I got downpoured on for about 20 minutes. So all that, trying to keep my outer layers off to try to stay dry so I didn't sweat and get cold was really useless because I got soaking wet and I was pretty cold there at the end of the night. But man, it was fun. Saw a total of 5 bucks, one doe that snuck in on my right side. I couldn't get a shot at her, but I would have shot her if she would have hung around long enough. But man, the plan worked perfectly. I hope you guys can take a couple things away from this video. I mean, even though Mr. Big didn't show up and I didn't get a shot at a nice buck or even a doe, but it was still a successful hunt in my opinion. I mean, I saw 6 deer, 5 of them were bucks. They were all little bucks, but nonetheless, I mean, especially if a guy is trying to get his first deer or just a deer, if you can take something from this video, even though I didn't shoot something, if you can take something that I said and apply it to your hunting and it helps you, that's a win for me too. I mean, there's a few things I want you to take away from this video and this hunt. Number one, spring scouting. I mean, come on now. If you're not spring scouting, old rut sign from the previous year, or winter or spring scouting. I actually scouted that in the winter. But if you're not out there looking at that sign from that last year, you're making a big mistake. I mean, if you get out there and you see last year's rut sign and you're able to, like I did, I went in there blind, I scouted that out, I found all the rub lines and I found old scrapes and I followed it back. I thought, okay, this is where I think they're bedding. And I followed that stuff back in there, and sure enough, that's exactly where they came from. So if you're not spring scouting, man, you got to do it. You got to get out there in the spring, especially for that old rut sign. That was 2 years ago. So the point here for that is that spot is still a rut spot. I mean, nothing has changed enough around it to make it not a rut spot. So 2 years later, I went in blind and saw 5 bucks. None were big, shooter bucks, but 5 bucks nonetheless. And if you're trying to get into deer, if you're having a problem even seeing deer, that is something to key in on and start doing is spring scouting. Another thing would be the access. Earlier in the video when I was trying to explain what the wind was doing and what my plan was, if I went this way, this could happen. If I went this way, this could happen. I mean, it worked out perfectly. Now, none of those deer came from either side of that woodlot. They came from right in the middle of it. But nonetheless, I wrapped around, and even though my wind blew in there, those deer still didn't care. They still came that same direction that they normally would. So your access is huge. Just remember that as well. And on the way out, I actually was going to take that smaller lane out because I figured that is all bedding over there. So what I'm figuring is the deer are out by the field. They're out by the oak trees on the other side, the other big woodlot. I was going to walk that way out, but I actually didn't. I actually went around the same way that I came in because I was curious. That bean field was cut, and I kept looking behind me, and there was no deer out in that field. When I walked out, I saw one doe on the edge of the field, and then when I dropped back down on the other side of the woodlot, I shined my light back into the woods. There was a whole group of deer there, and I almost guarantee you that's that same group that I saw. I think they went into the woods off to my left towards that field, and I think they wrapped back around, and they were going to be heading back across that other wide opening over to them oak trees. So whether there's does over there, because those little bucks, they were definitely rutting. I mean, I didn't catch it on camera, but that snort wheeze, he took off after that other buck and he snort wheezed, and it was cool. I mean, I love hearing them deer do that. So those little bucks are definitely spunky right now. Whether they were going that way for does or for food or for both, because they know that obviously the beans are gone. They know that them acorns are still there, and them does are probably going to be over there. So so that was something that I learned too. That backside might not be bad because them beans are off. So that other side on the right wind probably wouldn't be a bad spot to sit either. Next thing I want you guys to key in on is I went to that original tree and I just didn't feel right. I mean, I could have hunted it, but like I said, I would have been skylit way more than I realized. You know, when I first scouted that out, I didn't notice that. Well, I noticed it tonight. The sign kind of dwindled as I got to that side of the field, that side of the woods. The sign dwindled down, so I couldn't hunt the hot sign on the far west side because the wind was coming out of the west. It would have been blown right in there. But I didn't want to get so far east that I was out of the action, you know. And 75 yards, I ranged that tree from where I was sitting, the original tree where I was going to sit. From where I was sitting, that tree was 75 yards away. If I'd have sat there, I might have seen deer, but I don't know. I wouldn't have seen the 6 that I saw because not a single one of them went that way. And so that's something to remember too. Adjust to the conditions when you're in the moment. I mean, you can spring scout and that's great, but then you have to go in, and if you got to change something, tweak something, the wind's not right, you know, if it doesn't feel right, go with your gut. I mean, that's another thing too that I've been working on a lot is like analysis paralysis. I'm going to do a whole video just on analysis paralysis because it's a real thing, and I've been affected by it a lot, and I'm really working on not being that way. Sorry, my voice is kind of cracking from the walk out, but I'm really trying to focus on not being so like wishy-washy and you know, if I try to make this spot work, if it's not right, and you know, what if I go over here? Make a decision, stick with it. You're never going to know the outcome of either decision until you make one. So make a decision, go with your gut, and 9 times out of 10, like tonight, I made the right choice. I feel like I said, that was a successful hunt to me. If I can see 6 deer, they're on top of me, you know, and for guys that haven't shot any deer or that are trying to kill a deer that are having a hard time, you know, that's huge. That's I could have shot any of the 5 bucks. The doe never offered me a shot. By the time I would have got ready and everything, she was already gone through on my right side. It was my bad side. But if you're trying to kill a deer, man, I could have shot any one of those bucks tonight. And you know, if you're struggling, you got to make a decision. Make a decision in the moment. Look at the sign. Go with your gut. You know, based it on your previous scouting, the conditions in the moment, your gut, everything that is around you. Look at it all. Make a decision. Don't sit there hem and haw and be paralyzed by that, because it's a big thing. Like I said, I'm gonna do a whole video on that too. And I guess the last thing I want you guys to really look at too is how I played the wind in that situation. If I would have hunted that far west side with that wind blowing in there, probably wouldn't have seen anything. The 2 deer, the 2 bucks in the video, the last 2 that come in, they were right underneath me. I couldn't even, you'll see in the video, I have to look at that and probably edit a lot of it out because I couldn't move. They had me picked, but they were so close that I couldn't move my camera arm. It was hitting me in the belly, and then I'm trying to swivel the fluid head down, and I couldn't go down any farther because they're right underneath my tree. So I think my wind was, honestly, I think it was blowing right over top of them. Even if I did have a scent that they would have picked up, I think it was blowing right over top of them. But if I would have set up even 20 yards further to the west, all those deer would have been downwind of me. So even though it was a bad wind for the far west side, and I didn't feel right about the far east side, I went right in the middle and took a chance on that eastern half being, possibly scented. But I was also basing that decision on all the sign that I'd seen previously and the sign that I was looking at right now. I knew all that buck sign was on the far west side. This trail that I was on, that it was just off to my left, to my west, looked like a good trail. I seen some sign going in there. I knew they were going to that field edge. I could tell it was fresh sign. So that's why I picked that spot. Even though it wasn't the best tree, I looked around when I was up there. I was like, man, if I could get, when those 2 bucks come in underneath me, I said, man, if I could get 15 yards further to the east, just to be able to be, so they weren't right on top of me, because they came in straight in front of me. I didn't even see them until they were 15 yards away. But if I could have moved any further that way, I would have, but that tree was the best tree for that situation at that time in that moment, without making any noise, trying to clear limbs and all that stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys picked something up out of this video. Like I said, it was a successful one for me because I've seen all them deer, and I really hope that something that I say here is helping you guys. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys spring scouting? Are you going in and adjusting your tactics on the wind, or are you just going to your stand no matter what? And let me know in the comments how that's working out. I mean, if it is, great, but I want to hear you guys' thoughts too. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I really hope this stuff is helping you guys. And if you haven't yet, smash that subscribe button, hit the like, share it with your friends maybe. I mean, if you're struggling to kill deer, if you're trying to get your first deer, your kid, whatever, if it's somebody that you know is getting into hunting or whatever it is, and they need a helping hand up, share this video, like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys for being here as always. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.